blacksmith with the tongs both worketh in the coals, and fashioneth it with hammers, and worketh it with strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water, and is faint. The carpenter stretcheth out his rule, like his ruler measuring. He marketh it out with a line, he fitteth it with planes, and he marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man. Very precise. They take explicit care in the forming of these images, and they make it after a figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doth nourish it. This is just a man cutting down a tree. Then shall it be for a man to burn. He takes a little bit of it, and he lights it on fire. He takes some of this tree, and he lights some of it on fire. For he will take thereof and warm himself. Yea, he kindleth it, and baketh bread. He's sitting right there, and he takes some of it, he warms himself, and then he makes food upon it. He's using it for all these other. And then with the rest he maketh a god, and worshipeth it. The very same thing that he himself can burn and use to make his own bread, he forms a god out of. He maketh it a graven image, and falleth down thereto. He burneth part thereof in the fire. With part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself, and saith, Aha, I am warm. I have seen the fire. And with the residue, the rest of it, he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worshippeth it, and prayeth unto it, and saith, Deliver me, for thou art my God. And none considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire. Yea, also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it. And shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stalk of a tree? He feedeth on ashes. A deceived heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, Is there not a lie in my right hand? Now, the reason why I'm adding so much emphasis to this is because this still goes on today. You say there are no more golden calves that people worship. Oh, my friends, on Wall Street itself, there is a calf, a huge bull, that people still, it's representing what they're doing to money, worshiping it. It is and has been one of the most worshiped things throughout all of human history, money. Because what is money? Power. And the more power that someone has, the more godlike they feel. So they bow down to this thing in which will give them power. But they still bow down to literal statues. The Hindus do this on a regular basis. But do remember the Catholics. They bow down to these Mary statues no matter what they say, no matter how much that they try to say we don't worship the Mary statue. It's an idol, and they're bowing down. It is one of the most clearest forms of idolatry in the whole world. It tells us in the scripture about how in the last days men will be lovers of themselves. And mainly what is so prevalent among idolatry today, the most idolatrous thing is the love of self. People, they wish to make themselves God, which back in the day they used to worship statues and stones. Now all the worship is being directed to the self. Think it no coincidence that all of these popular shows exist throughout the whole world. Pop Idol, American Idol, World Idol, Australian Idol. Here's an advertisement for Canadian Idol. And what does it say on it? Be your own idol. Trying to make people gods. Anyone with eyes to see and ears to hear can clearly see that idolatry is still going on today. It's just more kind of mixed in with celebrity worship and all these. We just saw Beyonce's image on Be Your Own Idol and everything. They actually have a church of Beyonce in California or somewhere. Very, very weird.
I'm at Grace Cathedral in San Francisco, California. Hundreds of folks are going to come here to witness the Beyonce Mass, bringing together secular music and a religious message to tell a story of empowerment for particularly women of color, but for anyone who happens to sing praises to the goddess herself, Beyonce. Here we go.
Y'all, I'm out of breath because we sing Beyonce in church. Holy cow.
What can you tell me about the progressive nature of Grace Cathedral?
I think a lot of the people who show up tonight are people of color, LGBT people, people on whom other people's narratives have been projected. And I mean, just to be honest, the church hasn't been the best about lifting up those voices. It really began as us saying, how can we actually be the people of God that we hope to be in the world?
And Beyonce is the perfect passage to get that message out there.
Honestly, I think Beyonce is a better theologian than many of the pastors and priests in our church today. That is not an exaggeration.
According to a recent Gallup poll, Catholic church attendance has gone down nearly 40% since the 1950s. But tonight's Beyonce Mass is set to draw crowds in the hundreds. And though I don't consider Beyonce to be a religious symbol, like some of her most ardent fans, there's no denying her strong use of religious symbolism throughout her music and performances, paying homage to everything from female African deities, the Last Supper, Black Madonna, and the Virgin Mary herself.
I've been asked time and time again, why Beyonce? I believe that she reminds us that sometimes you have to do your thing your way. You don't do it on demand. You don't do it for your oppressor. You don't sing when they want you to sing. You sing when God tells you to sing. Never give them your song. Beyonce didn't become Beyonce on her own. I'm not standing in front of you because of anything that I've done. I'm here because of the Mary Nortons of the world, the Daisy Washingtons of the world. These are women whose names you'll never know, but Black women who fought to their core to make sure that there was a better tomorrow for those who could stand in front of you and say, as a Black woman, I am created in the image of God, and I am here to change the game and make the world a better place.
Anyway, they have something called the Oscars that the celebrities all flock to, and it's the most coveted award that of all of them. And what does it mirrors that of the old Osiris idol and Ptah. They covet this thing more than anything else. Why? Because they know that if they get this little statue, they'll be getting more money, more fame, more popularity, more roles. Just everything. That their life just increases on the earth. They get more earthly riches than they ever dreamed of if they can just get that one little false god of theirs. And oh man, how much that they just love to feel like gods on the earth. Oh, all the cameras are flashing at them. They even call themselves gods on the stage sometimes.
I just want to thank my agent, Kevin Uvain, and God, Harvey Weinstein. The Punisher, Old Testament, I guess.
And a few of them even go so far to outright blaspheme Christ and proclaim these things as their God.
I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. He didn't help me a bit. If it was up to him, Caesar Milan would be up here with that damn dog. So all I can say is, suck it, Jesus. This award is my God.